Hey everyone, welcome to lineup review. We're going to take a look at the winning lineup in the $50 single entry and some of the sharps lineups as well. So the winning lineup scored 212 this week, and they started off with a Luck Hilton combo, which again smashed. No one can seem to stop Andrew Luck right now, and he should be firmly mentioned in the MVP race as he's just been incredible this year. And of course, he had CMC, who was this week's slate breaker as he dropped a 50 burger on us. This was one of the best fantasy performances I can remember. Over 100 yards rushing and receiving with 10 catches and 2 touchdowns, and it was just incredible. And Sonny Michel was a low tourney play who ended up smashing. I certainly wasn't on him, and neither were 99% of people as he was 1% owned, and he put up 25 points. Most of everyone, including me, wanted to attack the Jets through the air, leaving the ground game untouched. And I wasn't as high on Tyler Boyd since AJ Green was out, but it didn't matter this week. The Bengals found themselves in a 28-point hole early on and went to a pass-heavy attack. Jeff Driscoll also seemed to like him a lot, and they connected well. Edelman had an amazing matchup in the slot for his buster screen, and he took advantage. Really not much to say here. Cameron Brate only being 18% was a surprise to me. Winston loves tight ends, and he's their number one right now with Howard out. So it made all the sense in the world to play him at that price, and he ended up catching a touchdown. David Moore, he was also another sneaky piece to this lineup as he was only 3% owned and crushed at his price tag. Most of us played DJ Moore, so David Moore was a nice pivot to that and cheaper. The Patriots D was a correlation play with Michelle. It is always a good idea to pair your running backs with the defense for a good correlation play, and the Jets couldn't really do much against the Patriots. So now let's take a look at some sharps lineups. Let's look at Empire Maker. He scored 181. He did pretty well in this contest. He went with Andrew Luck, who we already went over. And Edwards is what I thought was the easiest play of the week with Collins out. He looks pretty good when you watch him, and he passes the eye test for me. And a matchup with Oakland was just incredible, so it all worked. All stars aligned for him. CMC we went over. What a game. Now Odell was going against a depleted Eagles secondary who's missing 4 of their starting corners. Now, he really disappointed relative to his price and what we expect from him. He even voiced his concern of the Giants' game plan this week after the game, as he felt they should have went vertical and attacked more. DJ Moore, we don't have to talk much about him. Funchess was out, and this guy is talented, making him a great play. And at his price, I expect him to be priced up next week against Tampa Bay. The Steelers leaked points to slot receivers, which made Sanders a great play at 5,500. He could have had an even bigger day, but Keenum just missed him a couple times. Kittle didn't sink any lineups, but he did disappoint for the price and matchup to me. I expected like almost 20 points from him, so that was disappointing. Josh Adams was announced the featured back, and he took advantage. At only 3,800, he smashed value, and this Giants run D has been terrible since trading snacks, so it's something we got to keep targeting for sure. And he used the Eagles D as a correlation play with Adams. All right, now let's take a look at Chipotle's lineup. Okay, he did not do that well as he didn't cash in this GPP with 156 points. He went with an extremely low-owned Tannehill Amendola stack, which he's got to be one of the only people that were on that this week. They ended up flopping, and it did not go off, but Doyle did okay. That's who he brought it back with. And because Luck loves his tight end, so Ebron and Doyle had 3 touchdowns combined. And Burrito was a great play versus the Bucs. It seems like they're missing entire defense. I know their linebackers are out. And Alfred Morris was a healthy scratch as well, so this made it an even better play. And his price was great. And he looks pretty good when you watch him. I know he's a little guy, but he's pretty talented. And CMC, where he touched on. And Keenan Allen, he was going to avoid Patrick Peterson most of the day, and he ended up making some incredible catches and got in the box. He should be priced more than 7,100 for the volume and talent he has. Boyd we already talked about, and David Johnson. Nobody was on him this week because he was only 3% owned. He didn't do much, only getting 10 points, and the Chargers really just dominated this game. In the 49ers defense, I'm going to assume this is most likely a way to counter the chalk from Tampa Bay's offense. Alright guys, that's all I have for this week, and just be ready for some more videos later on. Thanks.